There's all kinds of terms used to describe corporate social responsibility. I like to use the phrase mission-driven business. It means that we start out from a perspective that here's what we're trying to do, and then how well do we pursue that mission. And it's always a process. I don't think you ever achieve the mission. It's just how committed are you to the journey. I'm Seth Goldman, co-founder, president, and TEO of Honest Tea. And TEO means that I'm responsible for making the tea and also for running the company. I started Honest Tea because I was thirsty. I felt like there were so many sweet drinks out there with tons of sugar and other stuff that I didn't need, and nothing out there with just enough flavor to taste good, with healthy ingredients and natural ingredients. And then on top of that, I've always been an activist, and so to be able to create an organization that could really be committed to changing our economy, changing the diet, and even changing the way agriculture works, were all appealing to me. One of the reasons our company is different is because we use real tea leaves. You say, well, of course, doesn't everybody? But in fact, most bottled tea is actually much more like soda. It's just sweetener, or in this case, high fructose corn syrup and flavoring. And what we do is we take tea leaves, we bring them to bottling plants, we infuse them in water, and that's how we make tea. In 1999, we were the first to make an organic certified bottled tea. And the reason that's important is because tea leaves are one of the few products that's never rinsed. So when chemicals are sprayed on tea leaves, they'll stay on the leaves all the way through the process until hot water is poured on the leaves, and so the chemicals get washed right into the drink. Just this year, we made the commitment to transition all of our tea to fair trade certification. And this is a way to make sure that the working conditions and all the tea gardens we source from meet a certain standard, and that a portion of the sales go back to the communities where we source from to help the communities invest in whether it's infrastructure or microenterprise or other things that they think are important for their future. The biggest impact we have as a company is the way we operate. We'll spend over $5 million in ingredients this year. So the real impact of our money is where it's spent. And then we'll sell 100 million units. And so think of the impact those units have on the people who consume them. And so when I talk about a mission-driven business, yes, it's nice that we can be involved with nonprofits, but the real impact is where we spend our money, how we spend our money, and the impact our product has on the people who buy it.
In terms of our corporate social responsibility mission, I really take my cues from Seth. Hi, I'm Cheryl Newman. I'm the Deputy Chief of Mission here at Honest Tea. Because it's so much a part of why we're in business, we don't really separate out what corporate social responsibility is. It's really part of our mission. As part of our Fair Trade partnership with an organization called Fair Trade USA, we do partner with specific tea gardens in China and India. And what we're trying to get a better understanding of right now is exactly how our funds are being used. We know that Honest Tea funds have gone to help establish a library. They've gone to help build a computer center for the children. They go to scholarships for kids who want to go on to higher education, which is a little bit of a challenge sometimes in the lesser developed countries. It's not just Honest Tea who does fair trade. There are a lot of companies in the United States do. So when you start adding all that money together, it's really quite significant and could make a big difference.
We do our best to really take into account our mission every time we make a decision. And with respect to packaging, plastic versus glass was an important question, and we really looked at it. And when we launched, everything was in glass, partially because that's what the Natural Foods Channel expected, but also that's really, from our perspective, was a very sustainable material. As we learn more, we realize that while glass certainly has its merits, it's also 7 times heavier than a plastic bottle, and as a result the freight is much more expensive, and if you take that mantra, reduce, reuse, recycle, reduce being the most important part of that phrase, then we had to find ways to lightweight packaging as well. And so when we launched plastic, it was a significant way to increase the freight efficiency of our product. And then just this year we managed to change the design of the product to make it 22% lighter. So now this is 1/8 the weight of an empty glass bottle. In 2008, Coca-Cola bought 40% of our company, and our product moved into their distribution system. And so when we signed the deal, we had about 15,000 outlets. We're now carried in more than 50,000 outlets, and with an eye to get to 100,000 probably toward the end of next year. So it's expanded our distribution a great deal, and we expect the relationship with Coke to grow, both in terms of distribution, but also we expect them to have a larger ownership stake in the future. We certainly heard concerns from consumers. Well, Coke comes in, they're not exactly committed to organic products. What's going to happen? And the reason they invested in us is because of what we do and why and how we do it. So, in fact, we've expanded the number of organic offerings we sell since we did the deal with Coke. We committed to fair trade just a few months ago, very much, with Coke's support and cooperation. So, from our perspective, this is allowing the impact of our mission to expand.
There are a lot of really good things about our relationship with Coke, not just from a distribution standpoint, although it's great that eventually everywhere you buy one of the Coca-Cola products, you'll also be able to buy Honest Tea. They have access to technology that we haven't had yet, and that's helping us. For me, first and foremost, is that they're looking to us as leaders in the sustainable business community, and I think that that's really exciting.
The whole socially responsible business movement was really gaining traction when I was in business school. And so for me, it was wonderfully exciting to see whether it was Ben & Jerry's or Stonyfield Farm taking root and really flourishing. What's exciting now is that there's this whole new generation coming up, and I think we're really one of the first of leaders committed to mission-driven business, but with a real business education. And I just can't wait to see what happens as this generation comes of age.